Okay, welcome in. Let's start out with a classic, Bach, Goldberg Variations, Glenn Gould. This is the 1955 version. It only came out in mono, obviously in 55. Yeah, it's on the 6i Columbia mono. Yeah, it's a great piece for just listening to, but it's got a pretty high noise floor. The recording itself, just okay. But you know, the performance shines through. It's a hallmark piece. You should have it anyway in some form or another. I do have the 82, which is a digital on Columbia. Also, I can't find it. Sorry, I took a quick look. I just don't know where it is. But I don't recall it being that fantastic sonic wise. But yeah, this one, no, not for audiophile at all. But a pleasant listen in low volumes, I suppose. Decent. Okay, this is better. Stereo Columbia 6i, Bizet Carmen Suite, Philadelphia Orchestra with Eugene Ormandy. This is a good disc. One of the better 6i's for sure that I've heard. Not too much noise. I mean, it's still there. You're not going to get dead clean vinyl from Columbia at this time, anyhow, of their pressing. But really good piece. I find that the recording itself, it just suffers because I think my personal opinion is that Philadelphia just doesn't sound good. It's not to take anything away from Ormandy or the orchestra themselves. It's a great, very vibrant piece here, but it just feels a bit muddled and muddy and too reverby. Like I feel like I want the microphones to come in closer somehow. I don't know if that would have helped, but yeah, it's too distant when it shouldn't be. But overall though, a pleasant listen. Yeah, good quality for a 6i for sure. Okay, we'll stick with Columbia a little bit here, and we're going back to Glenn Gould. This is a repressing, Columbia Masterworks Portrait. This happens to be actually a Canadian pressing, 1983, but of previously released 2 and 3 part inventions, Bach. This one, it sounds great. It really does. It sounds very good. It says on the bottom that it's the new Dolby 4 transfers of original master tapes, specially produced, so okay. I do know that a lot of these particular black covered ones were digitally remastered, for better or worse. I mean, they still sound good. Most of them that I've heard actually sound good, and they're all on this mustard kind of gross label color with red trim for the Masterworks. Very good though. Articulate. It's well balanced. Not too much noise. It's really good actually. So yeah, this is good. We'll do another Columbia here. Hold on. Okay, now we're cooking with CBS here. This is what you want as far as I'm concerned. For audiophile, like top-notch quality, it is their Masterworks, but it is the ones that are on this blue, the label of the actual disc is blue, dark blue with the horizontal red stripe. I've had incredible luck with this series. In the top right corner of the album cover itself, you will see the same thing, dark blue with the red stripe and then a sort of like a gold seal of sorts. Sometimes it's actually like a kind of a gold foil seal, and a lot of those are digital too, and the digital ones are good too. But yeah, these are the ones. So here we have Isaac Stern, great violin concertos. We got Brahms, Bruch, Mendelssohn, Tchaikovsky. So it's a repressing from CBS. The dates range from 1959 to 66, and it sounds amazing. Just so good, so much better than you would ever get on like a 6i or a 2i, in the 66 recording. So much better. If anything, a touch bass light, but I'm not even gonna say, because that's fine. Like it just makes up for it in the detail. Like it just shows how much was on those tapes and just how much they kind of botched it pressing them, those earlier Columbias. This is fantastic. Oh, also this is a Dutch pressing, so made in Holland. As I was talking about the Ormandy and Philadelphia, the Brahms Concerto for Violin and Orchestra, it was recorded at the Broadwood Hotel in Philadelphia, and it sounds a lot better. I don't know how they recorded a whole thing in the hotel, and this is a 1959. It sounds fresh. It's vibrant. It actually gave me goosebumps. Like, I'm going to go back to it after I'm done reviewing these. I'm going to listen to it again. It sounded fantastic. And then, yeah, on the same side, it goes from the Allegro, and then the next track is the Bruch on Concerto 1. And that was recorded at Town Hall in Philadelphia in 1966. And yeah, again, we're going back to kind of like muddy, and not muddy, but it still sounds really good, like really recommendable, that the one that was recorded in 66 at the Town Hall in Philadelphia. But you can hear the reverb isn't right. It sounds too big in a bad way kind of thing. So that's kind of the difference between what was happening, I guess, with with Eugene Ormandy in Philadelphia. So if you can find some that are recorded at the Broadwood Hotel, I don't know if they're going to say that on the disc. Not everyone says that, where they were actually recorded at, but I think those ones are a lot better. Anyway, these are the ones here. Yeah, this is a beautiful disc. And I gotta say, almost all of the ones that I've heard that look like this, that are these Masterworks style, the dark blue with the red stripe, they all have a high quality pressing. Very low noise floor, detailed, fantastic. Yeah, I should add, actually, this is a double disc, but not in a gatefold. They're just kind of jammed in there. Yeah, anyway, awesome. Yeah, here's just one more, just for the heck of it, going into the digital era for CBS. This one has the gold foil and the it says digital right on it. But I think I have a couple that are actually gold foil without the digital. They're really good. Anyway, this one sort of, I almost didn't want to do this one, but it's cool. It's fun in its own way. This is Rameau by Bob James, and Bob James is more known for jazz. He did a lot of like jazz fusion. His stuff got sampled a lot for hip hop and whatnot. But this is sort of like kind of in the same style as Wendy Carlos, switched on Bach, you know, the well-tempered synthesizer. It's like synth work to Rameau, but I actually like the way that he did it. It's nice and it's endearing. I mean, it's, you know, it's not super serious work, but you put it on at Christmas, what the heck? It's not bad. And yeah, it's digital, and it says on the back, the instruments used include the Oberheim OB8, DSX, DMX, Roland Jupiter, Yamaha GS1 and 2, and Mini Moog. So, you know, he got busy, but he did it in a tasteful way, I gotta say. It's not just like, haha, let's put it on a synth. Like, it's well thought out, and it's fun. It's not a serious piece. Anyhow, that's it for CBS for now, anyhow. Okay, so I lied. Just one quick one. So you can't do, you know, a little set of CBS and not put the two eyes in. So this is a Columbia 2-eye. Ride of the Valkyries, Leonard Bernstein, New York Philharmonic. Yeah, it's pretty good. I've made a point to try to get more 2-eyes because the performance, there's a lot of great performances, and they're not that bad. They're pretty good. I'd say in most cases probably even better than the 6-eye as far as just overall sounding cleaner. But it does, you know, it blocks up a bit in the heavy parts. Yeah, some parts sound good, but other parts don't of this particular album. But it's a great performance, really spirited performance. So it's worth having. I don't regret buying it. I just had it close by on hand because I just got it recently. Yeah, anyway. 2-eyes. Yeah, don't sleep. There's definitely some good stuff on them. So don't spend a fortune on them, but they're worth checking out for sure. Okay, now for something completely different. We've got a CBC album here. This is Italian operatic overtures, Rossini, and Verdi, also Donizetti, Wolf, and Bellini. This is National Arts Center Orchestra with Franco Manino. Okay. I don't think I have any else of their recordings. And, you know, CBC, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I've heard some wonky performances. This is a pretty good performance. The disc itself, like, you can tell they went about it with good intentions. Even on the hype sticker on the front here, this record has been pressed with K600 premium vinyl. Okay, so they went for the K600. Good choice. Translates very well. It's a digital recording, 1983. Canadian pressing, obviously. CBC stands for Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, the strings suffer a bit, I think, and that's because of the digital. But in the Rossini, like the big bombastic parts, it sounds quite good. And I think that's also because of the digital, because it can hold it all together. Like, it doesn't get all muddled up. It's pretty impactful, actually, and quite good on the Rossini. Yeah, some of the slower parts on the like Bellini and whatnot, yeah, it's still good. It's still a really good sounding disc, but yeah, the strings, you're like, I kind of wish it was actually done on tape for that part. But overall, okay, yeah, not bad. I should say also that the K600, it's very quiet vinyl and very detailed, so I don't know much about it, but yeah, I'll get more if I see it. Should mention also, this is on the gold label for CBC, and also the cover itself has like a gold finish to it on the text parts. Kind of distinctive. I see that on a lot from this era of the CBC recordings, and it's cool, actually. I like that. So, looks good. Okay, just checking out another CBC record. This is half-speed mastered. Joseph Haydn, National Arts Center Orchestra. This time, Mario Bernardi's getting wild with the baton, and he does a good job. I mean, I don't think I gave it an honest listen before. It's Haydn, but it is a different style, and I think it has a place. It's not bad. This is a 1982 recording, and it doesn't say digital on the front like the other one, but I gotta say, I did kind of hear it. Like, I was starting to doubt my abilities before, or my presumption, and thought, I can't even tell the difference between digital and analog. But on this one, I kind of did call it. It felt a bit digitally. And then reading on the back, it does say, and it says this actually on the other album too, that SM500 record series refers to dynamic, natural, wide-ranging, realistic, full spectral sound reproduction. It is a detailed sound produced with a microphone, or with microphonic techniques developed by award-winning, internationally acclaimed producer Anton Kwiatkowski. Albums are pressed on virgin vinyl using the latest in analog, digital, and half-speed mastering technology to obtain a perfect purity in the full sound spectrum. I think this one there's some sort of digital intermediary there, probably for the half-speed mastering. But a worthy disc, absolutely. Worth listening to. I'm gonna put it on a bit more, actually, to give it a full listen. Yeah, performance-wise, no, there's better ones out there. So, but for the sound and sonic quality, it hits pretty good. It's quiet. It's not quite as quiet as the other one, but it's dynamic. It sounds pretty well balanced, quite good. This one's on a silver label, and I see it's SM5001, so I don't know if it's the first or the second from the series. This very well may be on that same kind of vinyl, the KC600. Yeah, just for a comparison with those CBCs, I had to pull out the Haydn symphonies with Antal Dorati, Philharmonia Hungaria on Decca, and these are pretty much considered kind of benchmark Haydn symphonies. I think he did them all actually, and they're all fantastic. Yeah, for sound quality wise, yeah, I would say the Decca edges out the CBC. Although I did notice like a little bit of graininess to the strings on the Decca. Like, it's sort of like a warm graininess, if that makes any sense. Whereas on the CBC, it was more clean, but sort of digitally sterile. And overall, though, the Decca is more pleasing, and the Decca has a better drive to it. Where that's one thing I remember from listening to other CBC records, is that there seemed to be no like mid-range drive, I guess is the word I'm looking for, like punch to it. They're kind of laid back, even when you turn them up a bit. Not always, and as I mentioned, like on the Rossini pieces, it pounded pretty nicely, but overall it doesn't have that forward kind of feeling to it. But yeah, so this Decca one, recommendable for sure. And yeah, on this sort of blue label, they all have this. It's a special label with Haydn's portrait, I suppose you could say, right on the label. And they're English pressings, 1974. They're good, but not. I don't know. For Decca standards, I wouldn't say this set. I have another one or two I don't think they're up to the normal Decca standard, to be honest. They're good, but like a slight step down. The standard for Decca is extremely high because I have so many that are so amazingly good. So that's why I say that. It's still great and recommendable. Yeah, and this particular one, Symphonies 93 to 104. Okay, this record changed things for me. It's surprising. Usually, if I see an RCA Victorola, especially a pink label, like I just discard it with disdain, knowing that it's just going to sound terrible, crackly, just nonsense. Same with those purple Victorolas, dark burgundy ones that I've found before. No good. My memory of them, anyhow. Then this one I found, I don't even know where, but anyway, found it in my collection and noticed it was absolutely pristine, as in not played. I think I was actually peeling some of the wrapper off it, and yeah, it's really good. It's a US pressing. Discogs says, even on the back it says 1968, and then Discogs I see 1968. This is a United States pressing, but the vinyl is so floppy, and just like a really floppy kind of feel, like Dynaflex, basically, without saying Dynaflex. But yeah, you could roll it up if you wanted to. But it sounds really good, though. Really clean and quiet and articulate. And yeah, this is, I suppose I should say what it is. It's Bach, selections for the musical notebook for Anna Magdalena. And it's got Yeah, Gustav Leonhardt, harpsichord. He's famous harpsichordist. Ellie Amling, soprano. She's amazing. Hans Martin Linde and baritone. I don't know. I'm not too much into the baritone singing, but the harpsichord and the singing, wow, so good. And yeah, this piece is sort of like I guess it was for his new wife. His other wife unfortunately died, and I guess a year and a half later he took on a new wife, Anna Magdalena, and he kind of made her like a mixtape. That's kind of sweet. But they didn't have tapes, so he just wrote her a bunch of music, and it's sort of singing and then harpsichord. This makes me. It was great to find out how good this sounds, and then I kind of have like a sinking feeling as to how many I didn't even listen to or buy because I just thought they would suck. So now I'm giving a good look at these purple RCA Victorolas, and yeah, a lot of them do suck, but there's some good ones. I'll check one more out and get right back to you. Hold on, let me check it out. Okay, I just checked out this one. Rameau, Les Insgalants, Collagen Aerarium. So another one of the pink label Victorolas. Front is a little different layout, but the actual disc itself looks quite similar, and this one actually apparently is licensed under Harmonia Mundi, so I guess I'll have to check that to see if they're actually did the original. This sounds quite good, a little tiny bit crunchy on the high end, like on the flute bits and whatnot, so it's a little bit, it's not the full package, but it's quite good, definitely worth a listen, like still very high end. I would say, yeah, like I gotta say, yeah, approaching audiophile quality for the parts that sound good. For some reason, the beginning of the disc, like I don't know if it's the way it's cut, but it feels like the beginning of the disc doesn't sound as good as like the inner groove part of it. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't think it's my stylus because it doesn't usually do that. Oh, one thing too. I thought the other one was like Dynaflex. Also, this one says 1969. So am I totally out of it? Or like I thought Dynaflex was more like mid 70s, but this disc here is the lightest, flimsiest, wackiest I have ever seen. When I mentioned the other one, I could probably roll it up. This one for sure you could roll it up. Like, I'm not going to. It's like there's nothing there. I'm gonna just like I could blow on it, literally hold it between my fingers and blow, not very hard, and it will bend. Here's the sound of just moving it just a tiny bit. Like that's no pressure at all to make it wobble like that. I don't know how much it weighs. I'm curious. There is a slight warp to it too, so it's not awful, but you can see it moving around a bit. I can't really hear the warp. Yeah, so that's what they were doing at this time. I do wonder, I would like to hear the Harmonia Mundi, the original. I think it would probably sound a tiny bit better than this one, but a rock solid effort. It sounds good. Yeah, grab it. This can't be expensive to buy. There's no way. If you see it, I say check it out. All right, little change up here. This is Handel sonatas for oboe and continuo, and trio sonatas for two oboes and continuo. This is on the Nonesuch, and it sounds very pleasant. Great performance. The recording is really nice. It's very easy on the ears, and I would say actually after coming off that Victorola, this sounds a lot more smooth than that Victorola does. So I do feel like they kind of just rolled off the top a little bit, and I'm okay with it in this instance. It's okay. Not a heck of a lot, but I feel like there is a little bit of high end missing. Like they just kind of put an EQ on it a little bit. Really pleasant to listen to. Yeah, I would say that it's beneficial. You need some of these in your collection, some Nonesuch, because there's some of them are kind of hit and miss. But when they do sound good, it sounds really good. And I think this series is good. And this is volume 2 of that series for Handel, Trio Sonatas for two oboes and continuo. And this is a 1980 recording, whereas the first part of the series was 1976. And yeah, they stepped their game up by 1980. It's even better, actually. And it's actually cut louder. So you turn it down a little bit and it's even quieter. But it's very detailed. This is yeah, I'm going to say this is audiophile right here. This is a great disc. Get this disc if you see it, if you like Handel. And this is, again, like the way they record it, they really took time to position the players and get the right mic position. It just feels very pleasant and natural that you just, like I had to, you just listen. You just keep listening because it sounds so good. Like even when I'm just doing like a spot checking it here, I just couldn't help but just listen to it because it just brings you in. It feels so real and natural. So yeah, Nonesuch, don't sleep on them. There's good ones out there. They're not all amazing, but there's some great discs by Nonesuch.